body, which I took out, I want to say 2 weeks ago. But it was poured before this one, which is the subject of today's live stream. This sprig body is the one that I poured on Halloween. As you can see, the thin parts up here still have a little bit of flexibility to it. But believe it or not, I had this on my heat vent for just about the last 2 full weeks. Let me put my phone down somewhere where you can see everything I'm doing. Maybe that's a little low. You're in my small vise here as a phone stand, which I can tighten to lift my phone up. So here, I'm sure you can see the expansive reflective pool, which is the top of this, or the back rather, of this sprig body. You might be able to see a little bit of deflection here where there's a positive. So this is a hollow design. This is a hollow design, which is braced. And the back is a little thin because of the total thickness of the positive. I didn't wind up with the 1/4 inch I wanted. I think it's a 1/4 inch for the back to be, which I'm going to account for by placing a piece of, do I have it around? Whiteboard, which, thanks to a Burl's art video, I know this won't stick to. So I'm going to take this profile, probably one piece, just so it's nice, easy, sort of clamp this all down even. I'm going to adhere that to the surface of this to raise the total height of the exterior of the mold by exactly what I need in terms of additional back thickness. So there's no one here yet. So I'm tempted to wait a moment before starting to demold this. Oh, I have 3 people. Hello. So this is what we're doing today. This is a guitar body made from Tree of Heaven, which is a nasty invasive favorite habitat of the spotted lanternfly. This has been curing for 30 days. I'm going to be demolding it today. And it should be pretty much as solid as it's going to be because I had it over a heat vent. So, only 2 people now. I'm going to sort of loiter and meander a bit just to see if we can't wind up picking up people. But in the meantime, you can see there's still some flexibility here on the, I guess you would call this chaff. Flashing, that's what you would call it, flashing. So I'm gonna pull that all the way up around, sort of gradually. Let's see if we can't get more people in here before I actually start unbolting the thing. It's also not an ideal angle necessarily because I'm not really on a great work surface here. I'm on one of these U-line mobile carts. Oh, 6 people, that's great. So check this guitar body out, made from invasive Tree of Heaven. I'm gonna be demolding it now, or in the soon future. I got a like, thank you. I love getting a like this early in the stream. Usually I don't get that many until I do something. But one thing I can do before I start demolding it, I might do this kind of minimally because it risks, I risk slipping and scratching something that I don't need to. But there's some trimming we can do here, obviously. Some of it might just pull off. In theory, this is easier to demold without this stuff sort of holding it in. Oh man, this is the version of the NT cutter which allows you to eject the blade, and I just ejected the blade because I wanted a full length in order to scrape, you know, getting in there. Yeah. That's actually a pretty obnoxious feature. So, but you know what I can do though. And I'm out of blades. I'm just going to tear it off until I get this out of here. Works pretty good actually. Let's see if I can't get the camera a little closer. Who we got here? Hey, hi. Look at that. Satisfying. A second like. That's wonderful. I appreciate it. Peels off pretty easy at this level of curedness. It's also a funny way to pronounce that. Curedness. But I think it's correct. It feels correct. Maybe you can't see the right side here. That's kind of in the fold here. I'm not gonna be able to get that easily. How are you today? I got 6 people. That's sweet. So, now all the flashing has made its way. I figure at this point, I'll show you the back side of this. Legs will drop off here. Undid. Of course, just as I get into the interesting part, everyone leaves. But anyways, there's one leg gone. Here's the other. Oh, you're making a funny noise. Okay, that's fine. Nothing broke. 7 people. That's wonderful. So I'm demolding this guitar body. This guitar body. There you go. You can see how the positive is mounted here. It bolts down. The theory is that this sheet of silicone creates my gasket through the sheer downforce that these apply. It sort of sucks the positive down into the base here. And basically, to get it out, we just unscrew these all and kind of push on them a little bit. Maybe rip the wings off a little bit, because there's nothing technically holding them in right now. It's really fun, I promise you. This is like a game. And you can be assured these are all heavily waxed. That's probably why that was so easy. So this is kind of where it gets really interesting. I'm gonna actually reorganize my setup here. 8 people, that's phenomenal news. You're just in time, literally. So, pull the camera closer here. Like I mentioned earlier, my phone is just rested in a little vise. Terrible noise. Sorry about that. So, now it gets really fun. Let's see, can we get any more people in here in the interim 2 minutes as I set this up? Okay. No way. Oh my god. Okay, so this whole thing just pops right off. That's interesting. Seen anything like this before? Oh, I'll tell you what. It smells like something new. It's got like a new, almost like a new car smell to it. So that is sort of in a frame, in a 2D frame here, sprig body. Which, as you can see the positive here, I can then potentially pull out. Let's see, why don't I take this out of the frame first? Anybody seen anything like this before? There we go. A little bit of force. I need a tool. I see. Oh, we got 16 people. That's fantastic. Yeah, so it's by volume, a little more than half invasive tree of heaven powder. The rest is eco-epoxy, deep pour. It's like 18% by weight. Here's a demolded one. I make picks out of it too. But in order to get this out, I need to take a little bit of an invasive measure here. Encountering resistance. How's the angle? There we go. Interesting. I'm attempting to sort of cut this overhang, really, because I think it's applying a lot of resistance to my efforts to pop this thing out. Aha. See, there's all these little sneaky areas. Do want to be careful. Hey, 20 people. Okay, now that we've done a little bit of cutting on this side, this is the underside here. Some might be in order. Yeah, it appears so. I scratched it. It's okay. I'll fill that. useful to have as a center line down the line. All right, we have some freedom of movement here. Hey, 32 people. That's really great news. Check out this from that side here before I get started, see what I'm doing. Ha! Just in the nick of time, 30 people. You see it coming? There we go. That'd be about half of it. Put that aside. So now look at this funny thing we're left with. This. Let's see what I want to do first. Yeah, I'll remove it totally first. There we go. So there is a little bit of tape tearing. That's not an issue. Tape is fine. Tape is consumable. There we go. Ooh, wow. Yeah, that's like a new car smell. Don't mind me. It's a little crazy. Sorry, that's probably weird. Yeah, it's got, oh, that's the silicone. That's what that smell is. So what's different about this body, specifically the positive, is that this is wrapped in silicone. So theoretically, this whole thing comes out very easily. I see we have a little bit of, is that coming from flexion? Yeah, we have some flex. Okay. So I am gonna have to I mean, this is pretty much intact. So this is wrapped in a smooth-on, what is it, rebound something? But look at that. It's translucent in a really satisfying way. I'm gonna put this positive somewhere. Wow. Okay, so we did have to warp it a little bit to get it out, but I got some 1, 2, 3 blocks over there that I'll square it up with momentarily. Wow, so this is maybe it's a little nicer than the, definitely a little more translucent. I think I sifted the powder a lot more. And the fines sank. Yeah. Interesting. So now I get to trim all of the excess off here. I do make picks from this same material, as you can see here, which I've never run a sale on, and they're on sale on my website, treeforthetaking.com right now. If you're curious what this feels like. That's the only way you're gonna find out, because these are prototypes. Can't buy them yet, although one of these has a buyer. Which one? Don't know yet. Whichever one's nicer. So okay. So now we have A and B. Wow. Now that the mold is free, I'm gonna make another, and then I'm gonna make 2 more at the same time. I'm saying it now, so now I have to do it. This is pretty great though. So the necks I also make from reclaimed wood and rich light. I don't do any deforestation. That's sort of my whole, that's why it's called Tree for the Taking. So this is reclaimed mahogany, which as you can see I have a fretboard mounted to. Spoke adjust truss rod. I'm experimenting with headstock design right now. Whew. Sorry about that. Now I have to get this cut down to size and pick whichever body I want to put it on first. That'll be really fun. So as you can see here, they have a platform that the neck sits on. There's my template. Here's my neck template. So you can see sort of what that winds up looking like. It is not a headless guitar design. I just cut off the headstock of this template because I didn't like it. So there's some semblance of what we're going for here, just in terms of how the neck mounts to the body. So there'll be 4 holes here that bolt all the way through, and the pick guard, which is the whole top of the guitar, will pull down onto the neck and be sandwiched, sandwiching this platform between a plate and the whole top of the guitar. So it's like a long tenon with through bolts. So it's very durable. It's just holes. There's no threaded insert to strip. There's nothing like that. It's a lot more repairable in that sense. So now that I've got these 2 bodies, I'm going to be taking aluminum braces and JB welding them. JB welding them into one of these bodies here. Sounds really interesting. It's not quite 100% cured, even though it's been at it for a month. Probably take about 40 days at this point because it's so cold out. I did not cast them in a hot garage like I had the others. So, yeah, you can see they came out of the same mold. There's a difference in color because there's a difference in the batch of the wood that I was using. I ran out of wood. First time that's like ever happened. I've been making stuff, including the picks that I have for sale. I've been making stuff out of these trees, these invasive trees, for a few years now. I started with the picks because they were a lot easier to make. You need smaller tools. You don't need to be a whole luthier to make these. I am luckily though a 4th generation guitarist with I have 20 something guitars, which I haven't gotten to play as much now that I build my own. Kind of biased, but that's not a bad thing. Out of the 28 people here, oh, hey, I'm so glad you dig it. I'm happy to have you here. I plan on doing more of these, so feel free to subscribe, all 30 of you, but thank you, Green Surfer. I appreciate that. I thought it'd be kind of cool to do this live because I usually time-lapse it, and then I get a bunch of complaints that people can't tell what I'm doing because I'm moving at light speed. But here I am live, taking this out of its mold for you. Now I can use the mold again, modify it, and improve it, primarily improve it, because this back needs to be thicker. As you can see, if I get backlit, they're translucent, and it'll be durable enough once I put those aluminum braces in. I mean, an acoustic guitar is very fragile if you think about the thickness of the wood. But I don't really want it to be this transparent, because I'm assuming if you dropped it, it'd be more brittle than a thicker back, which would be very durable. It's Tree of Heaven sawdust. Well, it's not quite sawdust. I push it into a belt sander with a really coarse belt. Invasive tree twigs, specifically in Tree of Heaven, gets powderized and then mixed with ecopoxy deep pour. It's 18% by weight. It's a little more than half by volume because it's so light, and that is the same thing that I make the picks out of. I'm holding one, and it's pretty durable. And ironically enough, when you play with one of these, like sonically, it sounds, because I have wood picks and obviously I have plastic picks, but it sounds kind of like halfway between the wood picks and the plastic picks, which I really like. But I'm only equipped with one of these guitar body molds, at least to this design, so I have to build more. So hopefully I'll be live streaming that soon. Oh yeah, you could put anything in here. I was even thinking of doing a coffee one, because I'm a big coffee fanatic. But so the whole thing is from the inside, steering guitar building and guitars specifically away from rare and exotic tone woods, because I don't think deforestation, especially globally, is okay. So I'll put anything in there that I can justify as like having a, I'm sequestering the carbon of an invasive species, at least in this example. It's a waste wood because it's very pithy, super fast growing. But I've only built, these are guitars number 5 and 6. So I've only built less than half a dozen guitars. Sorry, I keep having to lift up my phone. My vice is blocking it. Yeah. Oh, if we want to switch to a guitar playing live stream, I'm more than down, but one moment. I gotta set these down somewhere really flat because they're not quite solid yet, and I don't want them to become warped in any way. Yeah, I have 2 of these actually. I have the pair of the bodies because I've been working in pairs. Oh, you subscribed! I got a notification for that. Thank you. Welcome. I do plan to do this more. So happy to have you. I think so. These are a pair. The other 2 I have as a pair. They're a little more different from one another. I'm trying to really hone in on a design and solidify it for manufacturing purposes, obviously. But as it stands today, this body shape, give or take the back thickness, is really pretty much it. But that being said, the neck, the headstock design, still up in the air a bit, just because I was experimenting with 6 inline versus 3 on a side headstock designs, and I really wanted it to be 3 and 3 just because it would be in theory shorter and reduce the risk for neck dive. It require a shorter neck blank itself for the actual piece that is the neck. But I really like 6 inline vintage style split post tuners. 6 inline. more ergonomic. It feels better in every way. So I'm going with 6 in line with the split post locking tuners because that's what I like. You know, is it so bad to make what one likes? I don't know. I'm gonna chalk this back up on the positive actually, for the time being, which will be a really tight fit because it's literally an exact mold down to like the micron. So ironically enough, I just demolded it, and there it goes back in its cavity. Here's the template it sort of sits on. Really couldn't have done it without making one of these to align the holes. So this I get to just stand on anything, and now it is fully chucked up on its positive, and I can swap this for the original board, put this down here, and we are good to go. I am so curious what's going to happen to my viewership as I move from body demold. Have I considered not adding a neck at all? I don't know what you mean by that. Yeah, 6 in line is the way to go. No, a lot of decisions. I started, actually, ironically enough, my first 2 guitars were basically T-styles. I'll be taking off this apron before I go and play any of those, just so I don't, you know. I got screwdrivers in here, all sorts of crap. But, oh, gotcha. Yeah, no, I was confused. I was like, what even would that look like? So, I'm gonna leave all my lights on. No, I'm not. I'm gonna turn off the really big bright ones. I'm so excited to have people actually interested. Unplayable guitar sheet paste. You know what it'd be? It'd be a charcuterie board. Charcuterie board is what they called the 1-to-1 Telecaster mold that I bought to make my first 2 guitars. They literally build it as a charcuterie board making tool. But it was 1-to-1, and it was highly accurate. So I got away with using that. So we've made it to all the guitars I've ever made. So in order, like I said, Telecasters, the back here, you can see, is 2 different pieces of my my composite. This is decking, mahogany decking and flooring, maple flooring. Got a book-matched, ultra-thick cedar cap on it. The leaf has kind of always been the same. Thank you. Yeah, so this is number 0. It says V0 inside. I don't know if you could see that. Probably not. First guitar I ever made. This is the plastic as well. It's got custom shop no-caster pickups in it, which is ridiculous. They're amazing. Then I made this one. The main innovation here was at the back. This is cast in 1 piece. Same piece of cedar makes the top. You can see it's basically like 1 slice down. The knots are even in the same spot. They're just smaller. See them? Yeah, so weight-wise, I mean, of course they look heavy. That thing is 9 pounds and 10 ounces. So it is really heavy because the center block there is solid resin. Like I took a Forstner bit and I hollowed out the wings of this on either side, but it's still just solid composite on the inside. This one is wooden braced with parallel braces that go like that. And those are mahogany. This is much lighter. This one weighs 8 pounds and 6 ounces, I believe. And then, of course, I just got really sick of book matching cedar. So I made this one with aluminum sheet. Essentially, like the pick guard is the whole top. I have a rick that I made a pick guard for a while back, out of aluminum, because it had broken when Mark Agnesi put it in its vintage rick case with just a little bit of paper, because that's the kind of guy he is. So it broke in the mail, and anyways, I replaced the pickguard on it after making both of these and sort of feeling a little more comfortable with the coping saw and the like. And so I made that pickguard, got inspired to completely redesign. So deviate away from T-style and go to... Sorry, my fingers are in front of the camera. I said, screw T-style. I'm just going to put a 1954 Seymour Duncan neck telly pickup in the like middle bridge position of an original Rick-inspired sort of small boutique design. And this sounds amazing. So this one is braced with, I don't know if you can see it, like Doug fir, quarter sawn Doug fir braces. You probably can't. There it is. Probably very... When are you going to hear him cry? You know? That makes me think you want to hear slide. And I have very strong opinions on using slide to demonstrate guitars. I think it should be illegal. I hate when people use... Well, no, I don't think it should be illegal. I hate when people use slide on a guitar demo because you're literally omitting all of the frets. You are omitting all of the frets and basically saying, here's what this pickup sounds like, without any of the neck doing anything. So I hate when people do it. But let me go ahead and, if you really want to hear it, I got 20 people here, dying to know how many people just dip as this becomes a playing stream and not the maker one they think that is. But I have a stereo rig I got to turn on first. Let's see. Plug it in. Nothing fancy. You're just going to hear the, let's see. How about the latest one? The latest one. Plugged in. Okay. 2 tube amps, so it takes a second to warm up. Okay, how are we doing? We got one on. It's a wet dry rig. With a broken cable. What is that? Can you imagine going on live and turning on your amp and hearing that? Okay. Imagine my horror when that sound comes from my amp. No, it's just the tone knob. I wouldn't call it muted. It's actually really bright because this is a toaster top prototype that Doug Neighbors at Idle Pickups made for me after seeing a video I made of the previous one. And I said I wanted a toaster top, and he just didn't even charge me, just put it in the mail. What a nice guy. dogs are barking. My dogs are barking. Yeah, so that's, let's see. How would I describe the rig? Wet dry, car sportsman, Victoria Ivy League, no pedals on. I could turn pedals on, but I'm not usually that kind of player. I'm kidding, I have a massive pedal board, but not really high gain stuff. Yeah, here it is with the volume turned down. You know, it's pretty loud. It's like a parallel braced, like a, you know, kind of like a Gretsch. There's just like two braces that the bridge actually sits on in this case. So it's definitely pretty loud acoustically, but yeah. We didn't lose that many people when I switched gears to playing, but I want everyone to know that I'm selling these picks online for like the first time I've ever discounted it. It's not much. It's 25% off for Cyber Monday, but I've literally never done a sale. So I figured I'd do one because I want to start producing these next year, and more picks out in the world, the merrier. Made from the same composite. Put the logo on them all. The guitars, I have sold one that is yet to be built because I'm in the prototyping stage. I've sold a couple dozen picks over the years. I've been doing this for like 2 years. Yeah, next month. That's when I'm planning to deliver. One of those next two I had just demolded. One of them at least. The next got to be sent out, do some media. But I'm in talks with some CNC manufacturers on getting fretboards and eventually the metal parts, because there's no reason I need to be, you know, artistically, I may say there's a benefit to me hand filing every single one of the bevels here, using a jeweler's saw to cut out this leaf. But this is a sheet of aluminum, and as much as it rings sonically, the way it's cut is not going to make a huge difference. So I'm planning to CNC this as well as the headstock veneer, and the fretboard, because it's rich light and I'm hand cutting fret slots, 21 of them to be exact. I want to go down to a 24-inch scale. I don't have templates for that. Going to be able to do compound radiuses, things like that. The necks, I will always be hand carving from reclaimed wood. I have some oak blanks in the works. Quarter sawn white oak, I'm really excited about. Let's see. Handmade. I bought a bunch of reclaimed mahogany from a sawmill. Resawed it all myself. Yeah, I like metal for durability's sake on a lot of these things. Like this, the second of this. This is called a sprig, by the way. This original design is called a sprig. Has aluminum braces. That's where I got the idea for the next ones to do it, because it's a little more durable, a little bit easier to source than the Doug fir and the other one. So keeps some of the, because this is like 150 pounds of tension wanting to go like that. So it definitely keeps it more rigid, but makes a surprisingly good jazz guitar considering it has a single pickup in the bridge. Yeah, exactly. That cable again. You know, a little metallic sound. Now we're down to 7. You know, oh, thank you. Yeah, it comes in handy when you're trying to build them. Believe it or not. So, as I figured, we thirded. We went down 2/3 of our viewership because, yeah, no one wants to hear me play. You do. No one else does. Trust me. So kill that. 14 people. Yeah, there's just no chance they want to hear this hand-built, original prototype, sustainable guitar design. There's just no chance they want to hear that. So I'm going to go back to the shop. I mean, oh, hey. What's up, Andy? Welcome. I shouldn't skip the guitars, actually. I'll turn this around and show you before I go back to the shop. Just because you probably wouldn't have seen these all in order. But Andy's a friend of mine. Check these out. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, so I had someone in this live want to hear them play, but I had just taken 2 more, well, 1 more of that exact guitar body out of a mold. I had like 30, 40 people in here earlier when I was doing that. But back to the shop. I was just on with I have a call with Alden every Monday, and it's his birthday today, and my phone didn't tell me that. What's missing? What is missing? What do we mean? From this? Yeah, not fun. Oh, next steps? Finish that neck. Put these braces in. I actually have the syringe of really intense plastic bonding epoxy. These are the aluminum braces, which I marked out as going like this. So these create a bridge, hello, that the bridge rests on and sort of strengthens and creates the neck pocket. So this will get epoxied down. The top will get cut. I have some 12 by 12 inch sheets of 1/8 inch aluminum over there. I will still be hand doing at least one more, just because the CNC stuff takes a while to develop the files and get the person I have making them to make them. So make the top, finish the neck. The neck is about half done, and more than half. It needs to be carved, put the tuners in, put the headstock veneer on, which is also going to be hand jeweler sawed, filed. Not really looking forward to that, but you know, it's hard to get motivated to do stuff that, you know, a CNC machine could do in about 20 minutes when it takes you like a day. So I'm gonna do it anyways, because why not? I have time. So that's kind of what's next. I was waiting to see which one of these bodies came out better before putting in these braces, but I've ordered more braces, so I don't really have to wait. I have more aluminum on the way, and that's what's next. And it is really, really fun that you must have been notified that I was doing this live, Andy. This is good news for me that that at least that feature worked. That's cool. It's always fun. I've been trying to do this more. I was attempting to. Yeah. Basically, they come in like pairs of specific. There's a specific wall thickness. I went thinner. I went lighter than before. Because I ended up having to shorten the bigger aluminum. It's pretty. That's why I wanted to make so much of this out of purchasable, pre-cut quantities of aluminum, like the top, the headstock, the braces, all came from like known purchasable specs. It's very much me trying to take advantage of off-the-shelf materials that I can easily get in like reasonable quantities, rather than having to order, say, you know, a ton of aluminum. I'm sure that'd be more economical, but so yeah, I've been waiting on this one to cure. It's pretty much good. So at some point I will be putting the braces in it, and then mixed with basically powderized, sifted Tree of Heaven dust. It's like a 40 grit belt. I did a live stream of that too, because why not? Just pushing many Tree of Heaven twigs into a belt sander. And I just do it in the garage. It's eco epoxy deep pour. I've been making every effort to get as much as I can in there, so that I'm not using that much Tree of Heaven. So nasty invasive. It grows like as quick as bamboo, very, very fertile, as in like a single tree can produce like 400,000 seeds in a year, I think, which is insane and very difficult to get rid of. And the spotted lantern fly really likes it. Yeah. I think it was brought over as like an ornamental plant. It's native to China, and probably one of the I don't know, one of the things that they like it for over there made them think of it being a tree of heaven when they moved it over here in like I think it was in the like 1700s. It's been here a long time. I don't know specifically. Its Latin name is Ailanthus altissima, which I also don't know where it came from. This is kind of funny the way it just spins. I should know that, you know. I think they really liked it in China, and so when they brought it over, something equated it with heaven or the heavens. But you know, there's this online meme of calling it, you know, the irony of that name given how noxious the plant is. So somebody had a sense of humor and or a position of ignorance 300 years ago. Yeah, I feel like a coffee guitar wouldn't have the same. Like, I have thought about that many times, putting ground coffee, like waste coffee, but it's a lot of work for sort of a deviation of mission. But it'd make a great YouTube video. What a way of thinking, Yeah, I've got to make a new video for the second sprig that I have in there. The second sprig never got its own full-length video. Yeah, I was wearing gloves earlier because these little rims in here are very sharp. Just cut my finger. I'm on, these are going to be 5 and 6 respectively. So 4. And I feel like that is less than, I was definitely aiming way higher for 2023. I wanted to have 6 done in just 2023, but I did not take into account how much time design and redesign takes, especially redesign. Like, the lag time between the first and the second sprig was months, simply because I redid the way I did the braces. I completely redesigned the headstock. It's just a living thing. I'm probably going to continue to evolve the design. I mean, as you can see, I have a 1-to-1. Oh, it won't let me tilt the phone. I have a 1-to-1 plan drawing here on the wall, which is a sprig technically, but it has a very different headstock, obviously, because this one is too small. Didn't work. But a lot of iterations. I think the one that's most accurate lives on the door. But it's a little bit beat because I used it to make templates off of. Again, the headstock, though, this is not a headstock I've ever made. Yeah, no, I need to do something like leaf-like with the headstock design. This is the way I have it sketched out right now. The first sprig has sort of like a knife-looking headstock to it, and I want a little bit of a recurve on it. This part here, so that it doesn't look as it doesn't look like a knife. A little aggressive. You heard the music I played. I don't need a knife headstock. So this one kind of looks like a bird a little bit, but I'm planning to make it leaf-like. So we'll see how that turns out. But I've got enough wood here. All these reclaimed mahogany blanks. I've got enough for like 12+ guitars. All of which, once I execute CNC, should be able to be made within the next year. You know, hopefully my slight delay to implement CNC is worthwhile, and that I can really hit the ground running. Yeah, this is exceedingly light mahogany. also the decking that I got reclaimed to use. CNC, computerized nano control. It's a router. It's basically like a computerized wood sculpting tool that can manufacture. It can also do all the metal and replace all of my handiwork that I'm like hand sawing and filing and using sanding blocks to do. Basically, right now to put the radius on this fretboard, I took this block which has the radius cut into it, covered in sandpaper, and I just had to push it over that for like an hour and a half. Whereas a computerized router can take a little bit and go like this really quickly, and in 20 minutes it's done, and I didn't have to sweat. So I'm really looking forward to that. But these blanks I'm still going to be doing by hand, putting the truss rods in on the router table. But yeah, it's very light, very quarter sawn. It's like very, very perfectly quarter sawn. Ultralight mahogany. Sounds great. And let me see if I can get some better light so you can see. Very, very, very quarter sawn. More quarter sawn than any callings I have. Inside of the neck blanks, a truss rod, which I have over here. I got 4 here because I told you I was planning to scale like crazy. So these are you familiar with how truss rod works? Well, there are 2 different kinds. This kind is what I'm moving towards. Yeah, so this is what I'm putting in there. It's a Stumac hot rod wheel adjust truss rod. I've got 2 of them here. I've got one of them over there. I've got more neck blanks here, 2 of them. Again, quarter sawn reclaimed mahogany. I've been doing all the milling myself. Here's my sheet aluminum. That's a 2-pack, and I have 2 of those. More mahogany. That's about it. Fretboard's a rich light. So this is what I need turned into a fretboard, basically. And as long as you are doing the fretwork yourself, I would still say you're building the neck. I mean, if you're literally building the neck. So I'm planning to just have them put the radius in and cut the fret slots. So I will be fretting and assembling the neck because I want to build the neck. I think that is important to be able to say that you built the guitar because that's the part you use to play all the notes, all of them. Name a note you don't play on the fretboard. So, I mean, that being said, you use the frets. The placement of the fret slots is really more of a mathematical question than it is art, you know, so there's no human advantage. Yeah, no human advantage. What a phrase. 10 people. 10 people to tell that I have picks on sale. Let me move this so it doesn't get all warped. But yes, people, I'm doing a Black Friday. No, it's not Black Friday. It started on Black Friday. It's a Cyber Monday sale. I'm trying to get some picks moved. But, you know, I should have said that when I had 40 people. I probably won't do this for too much longer because my phone is dying. But, yeah, Andy, if you're still here, we should chat sometime. I'll fill you in on the comings and goings of the business because it's really fun. 15 people. I don't know why talking ever gets people in here. What's the recommendation? Is it a... I'm afraid. Oh, hey. That's a good recommendation. If only I wasn't bouncing all over the place, not sitting. If you need catching up, I started this stream literally an hour ago by demolding a body made from invasive trees, which is now sitting right here, back on its positive. You can see it's hollow. So this form here is covered in silicone, and I've been letting it cure for a month. This is going to be a pretty much hollow, besides 2 aluminum braces, guitar. Yeah, it's, you know what though? I've really enjoyed this stream, and I think I'm going to save it to my channel, because it's not like a lot of people go in and watch an hour-long live stream, but I would love to be able to put the ceiling. I don't know, man, it's a basement. I should probably cover it so it doesn't get inundated with dust, but I may have like 26 guitars, but none of my fretboards are bona fide poorly cared for. But yeah, Andy, the clip should be permanently saved though, because I really liked the format of being able to demold this live. I don't think many people set up, I mean, it's not like I'm a big live streamer, but try to find a niche, show people guitars being born. it's a fun way to put it, I know, but yeah, it'll be uploaded later. I appreciate the fact that you stuck around so long and subscribed, Green Surfer. I hope to see you around, and pleasure meeting you. Yeah, 73 minutes. I don't think I've ever done a live stream longer than like 90 minutes, but I'm at like 10% now on my phone. So we got 11 people. Again, that was a good recommendation from Green Surfer to have my socials somewhere behind me, though I am quite a pacer. So I don't know how long it'd be behind me, but that's a good idea. I still got a dozen people in here, one of which might want a guitar pick made from invasive trees. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. They're 25% off. I've never done a sale unless you're like a friend of mine. But after this stream, you're all friends of mine. I got 3 likes in here. I appreciate that. Yeah, street for the taking. I don't love ending a live stream while I have anyone here, because it's like a strange goodbye. You know, like throw the ball in your court. Your screen just closes. I say you're done, and then you have to move on. But 4 likes. I love it. I got 4 likes, 7 people. I get good enough vibes off of that I can end it. I hate to skip out on you, Andy, but let's be in touch. Love to catch you up on all of these fun things, and talk to everyone else soon. I don't live stream every day. I would like to do it more though, because welcome to my shop. So everyone else have a lovely day. Andy, talk to you soon, and I hope you guys have a good one. Happy Cyber Monday, everybody. treeforthetaking.com. Subscribe, like, all that stuff.